Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. Yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day. It was a retiree here in Thailand, and well, it was actually a group of folks. And one kind of old hand, if you will, been around a long time. Sort of, it came up, is retiring in Thailand like it used to be? And there was some, back and forth, some hemming and hawing, and let's just say folks letting their consternation be known that it wasn't quite like it once was. But as one person brought up who'd been around a while, Thailand changes a lot. And it's very weird when you live here because Thailand, I've often said myself, Thailand's the one place where the days go by like weeks and the weeks go by like days. It's a very odd kind of temporal position to find yourself in insofar as, the time here goes by, it seems like at a different pace. It's like it's a little bit warped or something. But as this person brought up, the Thailand of the 90s was very different than the Thailand of the first decade of the new millennium, which is very different than from 2010 to 2020, which at that point I had some experience in the first decade and was here all through the second decade, going in, starting on the third decade. It has changed a lot. And it was a good perspective that, hey, things change. Now, for the better or the worse, yeah, COVID and all this stuff, and frankly, all the hysterics that have arisen up around that, yeah, that's its own set of problems, set of issues. Meanwhile, I would say certain things are kind of better, at least from when I got here. And obviously, I'm not a retiree. And I do understand I'm not taking into account things like inflation, exchange rate. Those have a massive impact. And I do understand that, and depending on your nationality, that may have an impact on you more acutely than others relative to other people. I get all of that. But yeah, certain things have gotten better. I would argue, there's a lot of products that one can buy in Thailand that used to not exist here, or they used to not be available here, I should say. Meanwhile, yeah, I think especially in the very recent near past, bureaucracy associated with maintaining status there was just a spike. It just went through the roof as far as that went. I'm hoping longer term that's going to kind of fall by the wayside. But, I was just kind of thinking about it. And yeah, on the one hand, maybe it's not like it used to be in many different ways. But there are pros, there are cons. I have to admit on a personal level, having been here for 15 years, would I prefer the Thailand of when I first got here to now? Hard to say. I was a younger person then. I was a different person then. And you got to take that into consideration. Again, I'm not a retiree. So, if you have your own thoughts on that, maybe leave some comments below. But long story short, the place evolves. So to try to compare a past iteration of Thailand with the present, it isn't quite fair.